The galaxy had long regarded humanity as fragile, inconsequential, a species bound to a small blue planet, incapable of venturing beyond its own solar system. Every other civilization had rules, hierarchies, and traditions that dictated the survival of their kind. Humans had none of these, yet somehow, they endured. And on this day, they would prove why endurance was more powerful than any rule. Captain Amina Zahir stood on the bridge of the Elysium Vanguard, the flagship of the United Terran Expeditionary Fleet. Her eyes traced the shimmer of the shattered nebula displayed on the holographic screens before her. The nebula was infamous, a collapsing cluster of stars and dark matter, a graveyard where entire civilizations had vanished. No scout, no warship, no expedition had ever returned from its depths. "Captain, sensors are detecting extreme gravitational turbulence ahead," reported Lieutenant Kov, his forearms deftly adjusting the energy readouts. "Recommended course is to halt all forward motion." Amina's jaw tightened. She had studied this warning for years, memorized every lost fleet, every cautionary tale from the United Galactic Council. But hesitation was not in humanity's vocabulary. "Steady the course," she ordered. "We are here to explore, not to hide. Every star remembers our resolve." The human fleet entered the nebula, and chaos erupted immediately. Swirling vortices of radiation shredded the space around them. Sensor alarms blared, warning of energy spikes that could destroy unshielded ships in moments. Alien observers watching through long-range telescopes murmured in disbelief. The Terran vessels should have been obliterated within minutes. Instead, the shields of the Elysium Vanguard flared like living armor, bending the storm around them, protecting every vessel in the fleet. In the mess hall of the flagship, cadets whispered among themselves. "We're going to die," said one, gripping the railing. Another shook his head. "Not us. Not today. Not ever." Humanity's strange, unyielding courage was evident in every face. It was instinct, almost genetic, a defiance that no censor, no rule, and no alien threat could quantify. Outside, the nebula twisted violently, collapsing stars spitting energy in all directions. Amina's hands flew over the control panels, her mind calculating probabilities that would have paralyzed any other captain. But she trusted her crew. She trusted her species. Humans had survived atomic wars, plagues, and countless failed experiments on worlds they had barely begun to understand. Now, they faced the galaxy's most feared death trap. Hours passed. Some ships began to falter, shields flickering under pressure. And then humanity revealed its secret weapon, adaptability. The Terran engineers rerouted power through quantum conduits, reshaping shields in real time. Ships maneuvered like living things, weaving through collapsing energy streams. The nebula's storm became a challenge, not a death sentence. In a hidden sector of the nebula, an alien fleet, long accustomed to watching others fail, stopped dead in their tracks. They had heard the rumors of humanity's daring, but witnessing it firsthand was beyond comprehension. One alien commander, a towering cephalopod of violet hue, muttered, "They should have been gone centuries ago. Yet, they endure." Amina's voice cut across the bridge. "Prepare the fleet for the next jump. The nebula's core waits, and with it, the secret of the lost civilizations." Her eyes sparkled, not with fear, but with a strange kind of exhilaration that only humans possessed, the thrill of confronting the impossible. By the time the first Terran ships breached the heart of the nebula, the galaxy had begun to take notice. Light years away, alien historians recorded the unthinkable. Humanity had not only survived, they had traversed a death zone that had claimed countless empires. They moved like legends, leaving streaks of phosphorescent energy in their wake, almost as if the nebula itself recognized their courage. And so the story spread. Across the stars, across networks of communication once thought impenetrable, the whispers began. The Terrans are not just another species. They bend rules. They survive the impossible. They endure when all others fail. On the bridge, Amina finally allowed herself a small smile. Her crew, exhausted yet unbroken, turned to her, eyes wide with a mixture of fear and awe. "Captain, asked Kov. We've only just begun, she replied. Humanity doesn't break rules out of defiance. We break limits out of necessity. And the galaxy will remember this day. Outside the viewport, the collapsing stars of the shattered nebula pulsed with light, reflecting the fire that now burned in humanity's heart. It was the first light of legends. And in the shadows of the cosmos, every empire, every council, every species understood a terrifying truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. Ever. The shattered nebula had tested every being foolish enough to enter, and yet humanity pressed on. The first light of victory had barely faded when a new challenge emerged. Dark currents of energy twisted unpredictably, creating rifts that swallowed entire fleets in an instant. Alien scouts whispered in fear across communication channels, convinced that no species could survive the nebula's wrath. Captain Amina Zahir stood again on the bridge of the Elysium Vanguard, staring at the ever-changing maelstrom ahead. Her hands danced over the controls with effortless precision. Every Terran vessel followed in perfect synchronization, a choreography born not of rigid command, but of instinct, trust, and decades of rigorous training. Sensors detect multiple unstable subzones ahead, reported Kov. His forelimbs moved with mechanical elegance, highlighting the readings on every holographic panel. Energy surges could rupture hulls in seconds. Probability of fleet loss, 73.2%. Amina smiled faintly. Probability doesn't apply to humans, she said. We adapt. We endure. Prepare the fleet for controlled subzone traversal. Engage quantum maneuver protocols. The Elysium Vanguard and its fleet glided into the first subzone. Waves of dark energy lashed outward, tearing at shields and sensors. Yet the Terran ships, each a marvel of engineering and human ingenuity, bent the storm around them like water flowing past rocks. Every maneuver, every adjustment, seemed impossibly precise. The nebula, a force that had ended entire civilizations, now became a proving ground for humanity. On board the smaller scout vessels, cadets recorded the chaos with wide-eyed fascination. "This is insane," whispered one, his voice trembling. "We actually surviving." Another shook his head. "We're not just surviving. We're mastering it." Far beyond the nebula, alien empires watched in disbelief. A council of starborn beings had gathered, streaming real-time footage of humanity's fleet. "This defiance, it cannot be natural," hissed a senator from the Zurian hegemony, his tentacles twitching in unease. "They were meant to perish centuries ago, and yet they thrive." As the Terran fleet approached the nebula's core, the gravitational anomalies intensified. Subspace fissures threatened to sever the fleet's cohesion. One miscalculation, one moment of hesitation, and the entire expedition could vanish into oblivion. Amina's gaze swept across the bridge. "Focus. We move as one." Her crew, drilled to near perfection, executed every maneuver flawlessly. The Elysium Vanguard led, slicing through collapsing star clusters, followed by frigates and transport ships, each reacting instantly to shifting energies. In a display of synchronized genius, humans adapted faster than the nebula itself could throw obstacles. Then came the first direct confrontation. A rift tore open in front of the fleet, and from it emerged a vessel of unknown origin, alien in every aspect, its hull pulsating with dark energy. The nebula had claimed it as a guardian of sorts, a test for anyone daring to approach its heart. Its weapon systems glowed, ready to obliterate anything in range. Amina's fingers flew over the control panel. Engage evasive maneuvers. Prepare plasma countermeasures. And fire only if necessary. The Terran fleet moved with uncanny precision. Beams of energy danced across the void as humans avoided, dodged, and countered without panic. Where other species would have retreated, humanity pressed forward, using the nebula's own chaotic forces as shields and cover. The alien vessel, designed to annihilate intruders, found itself outmatched by unpredictability and human ingenuity. Minutes later, the alien ship retreated, leaving a trail of disrupted energy. The nebula's core was now within reach. Captain Amina allowed herself a small exhale of relief. "We're entering the central subspace," she announced. "All crews, brace yourselves. The discoveries ahead will define humanity's place in the galaxy." Inside the fleet, whispers of awe and disbelief circulated. "We've done what no one else could," one cadet said. The legends, they weren't exaggerating. Yet Amina knew this was only the beginning. The nebula was not just a test of courage, but a crucible of evolution. Humanity's triumph here would echo across stars, but the true challenge lay ahead. The secrets hidden in the nebula's heart, and the forces that had destroyed entire civilizations before them. Outside, the shattered nebula pulsed with a strange, almost sentient rhythm. Its collapsing stars seemed to acknowledge the human fleet, as if the universe itself was taking note of their resolve. And somewhere in the dark reaches beyond, alien empires recalculated their strategies. Humanity was no longer a minor curiosity. They were a force that could not be ignored. That day, the galaxy witnessed more than survival. Humanity had taken the first steps toward legend, proving that courage, adaptability, and unyielding spirit could rewrite the rules of existence. And in the shadows of space, the nebula waited, ready to challenge them again. But for the first time in eons, it did so respectfully. The core of the shattered nebula glowed with an eerie brilliance, a swirling maelstrom of collapsing stars and dark energy. Every navigation system in the galaxy had marked this place as the end, a void where no signal returned and no life survived. But humanity did not flee. Captain Amina Zahir stood at the bridge of the Elysium Vanguard, her eyes fixed on the chaotic expanse ahead. "Prepare all scanning arrays," she commanded. "We need to understand what lies at the heart of this storm. Knowledge is as important as survival." The Terran fleet moved in perfect formation, each ship a testament to human engineering and ingenuity. Smaller frigates flanked the larger cruisers, forming a protective lattice that could adapt instantly to the nebula's violent shifts. Alien observers from afar were stunned. Even the most sophisticated species had never displayed such coordinated resilience in the face of certain death. As the fleet entered the core, the very fabric of space seemed to twist around them. Subspace distortions licked at their shields, threatening to tear the vessels apart. And then, the first anomaly appeared, a massive, floating relic, ancient beyond comprehension, radiating energy that defied known physics. This is not natural," whispered Lieutenant Kov. His multiple arms hovered over the console, unable to process the relic's readings fully. It's artificial. And extremely old." Amina's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Then we have proof. Humanity wasn't the first to explode, but perhaps we're the first to endure." She turned to her crew. "Approach slowly. Maintain shields at full capacity. No unnecessary risks." The relic pulsed, and the nebula responded. Energy waves slammed into the fleet, shaking ships violently. Cadets gripped consoles, their knuckles white, yet no one panicked. The humans moved with a grace that bordered on instinct. Every maneuver seemed preordained, every action synchronized. From the shadows of the nebula, alien sentinels appeared, massive constructs of unknown origin, designed to guard the relic. Their weapons charged with devastating energy, and their presence made clear that the nebula had a protector, an enforcer that had annihilated countless explorers before. "Targeting systems online," reported the tactical officer. "They are preparing to fire." "Hold," said Amina. "We're not here to destroy. We're here to survive and learn. Use evasive maneuvers only if necessary. Remember, humans adapt faster than any machine." The sentinels fired, energy beams slicing through the void. Terran ships darted and weaved through the blasts, shields flaring with every hit. Yet the humans did not simply evade, they turned the nebula itself into a weapon. By predicting gravitational shifts and subspace currents, they channeled the Sentinel's energy against them. The massive construct staggered, unable to adapt to unpredictability. Amina allowed herself a rare smile. "Now, engage the resonance scanners. Let's see what secrets the galaxy has hidden from all others." The scans revealed something astounding. The relic was a starship of unimaginable design, its hull fused with dark matter, its systems beyond comprehension. Symbols etched along its surface suggested a civilization long extinct, one that had mastered physics that humans were only beginning to understand. Kov's voice trembled with awe. "Captain, if we can harness even a fraction of this technology, then humanity's potential is limitless," Amina finished for him. "We will not just survive. We will transcend." The fleet advanced further, and the relic responded. Holographic projections illuminated the void, depicting a story of civilizations rising and falling, of empires that had underestimated the power of adaptability and courage. And among these images, a new symbol appeared: humanity. Their victories, their ingenuity, their indomitable spirit. Somehow, the nebula itself acknowledged them. Far away, alien councils watched the transmissions, their confidence shattered. "This cannot be allowed," muttered one. "They are not merely survivors. They are rewriting the rules of the galaxy." And indeed, humanity was rewriting the rules. Not with brute force, not with rigid strategy, but with resilience, creativity, and unyielding spirit. In the heart of the shattered nebula, Terran ships moved with purpose, every human a testament to a species that refused to bow to fate. Amina's final words for the day echoed across the fleet: "We will learn, we will endure, and we will return to the stars stronger than ever." Today, the galaxy sees what it means to be human. We are not just explorers. We are legends in the making. Outside, the nebula pulsed once more, a cosmic heartbeat acknowledging the humans who had dared to enter where none had returned. And for the first time in eons, the galaxy understood a terrifying truth. Humanity did not just survive the impossible, they became its masters. The core of the shattered nebula had revealed its secrets, yet humanity's journey was far from over. Captain Amina Zahir stood on the bridge of the Elysium Vanguard, eyes locked on the mysterious relic now stabilized in orbit around a dying star. The Terran fleet shimmered like a constellation in motion, each ship glowing with shields that had survived the nebula's wrath. "This relic, it is a gift and a test," whispered Kov, scanning the alien vessel's energy readings. "Its technology is centuries beyond our own. Entire civilizations failed here. And yet, we are still intact." Amina's gaze softened into a rare smile. "We were never meant to fail. Humanity does not merely survive adversity, we rise above it. Every challenge shapes us into something greater." The alien observers, who had watched from the periphery of the galaxy, could barely comprehend what they saw. Once confident empires, they had sent fleets to study, perhaps even exploit humanity's weakness. Now, they witnessed the impossible: humans bending physics, navigating chaos, and thriving where others had perished. Suddenly, the relic emitted a pulse of light that bathed the Terran fleet in an ethereal glow. The energy resonated with their ships, interfacing with human technology in a way no alien engineer could have predicted. The systems that had once been impossible to stabilize hummed to life, weapons calibrated automatically, and shields adapted to subspace anomalies as though the fleet itself had become a single living organism. On board the Elysium Vanguard, cadets stared in awe. It's like the nebula is acknowledging us," one whispered. "Like it knows we belong here." Amina's voice cut through the comms. "We do belong here. Every star we touch, every ship we pilot, every challenge we overcome, it all tells the galaxy who we are. Humanity is not a species bound by rules. We are the architects of our destiny." The pulse from the relic expanded outward, forming a luminous corridor through the nebula. The Terran fleet advanced, moving as one through the cosmic gateway. Alien sentinels, once poised to destroy intruders, now paused, recognizing a force they could not predict. Amina's fleet had become more than a group of explorers. It was a symbol of resilience, ingenuity, and unyielding courage. By the time they emerged from the nebula's heart, a new vista of the galaxy opened before them. Star systems previously deemed unreachable now shimmered invitingly, hyperspace lanes uncharted, planets ripe for exploration. Humanity had not only survived the nebula, They had mastered it, reshaping the possibilities of the galaxy itself. "Report," Amina said, her tone calm but commanding. "All systems nominal," replied Kov. "Fleet cohesion is perfect. No casualties. The relic's energy is stabilizing our technology. We are ready." The fleet's triumph did not go unnoticed. Across the galaxy, messages of awe and alarm spread among alien civilizations. "They have surpassed all expectations," a Zorian elder admitted. "They are no longer a fledgling species. They are legends." Amina turned to her crew. "This is only the beginning. Humanity's journey will take us to corners of the galaxy no one has dared to venture. And when the histories are written, they will remember today, not for a single victory, but for the spirit that made us unstoppable." The Elysium Vanguard led the fleet into the newly revealed cosmic pathways, and humanity moved as one unstoppable entity. Ships pulsed with energy, engines resonating with the relic's power. Cadets, officers, and veterans alike felt a profound shift, the knowledge that they were part of something greater than themselves. They were no longer just explorers, they were pioneers of the galactic era. And as the stars stretched infinitely ahead, Captain Amina allowed herself a rare moment of reflection. The galaxy had underestimated humanity for millennia, assuming fear, rules, and caution would define them. Instead, humans had redefined survival itself. Through courage, adaptability, and relentless determination, they had become the architects of legends. That day, the galaxy witnessed a species rise not by conquest, but by mastery of their own potential. Humanity had transcended expectation. Humanity had become a force that no empire, no council, and no ancient technology could ignore. And somewhere, in the silent void of space, the stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter, as if honoring the arrival of a new legend, the Terran legacy.